Let me see if I can get them in a circle. I think he's tired. What up, world? It's your boy, Elroy, back again with some more content. This is, I think, what, day 21 of trying to find treatment, or I'm going to be homeless for Christmas. Oh, I'm making a smoothie. Yeah, day 21. So yesterday, made a few phone calls. Not surprised. Didn't really get any answers. That I guess is to be expected. Is to be expected. It is December. A lot of treatment facilities, institutions get filled up quite a bit around these times. But that's not going to discourage me from keep trying. So just checking in. Ups and downs. I've been trying to keep myself on a positive note, just mentally. Been doing some things to that, brings me, a little enjoyment, but at the same time, keeps me focused on something bigger than myself. I've been reading a little bit. Mainly been reading on LLCs and LLCs and just entrepreneur type ordeal. I got my DUNS number, so that is a actual big thing. I recently just got that. And what that means is I'm able to now build business credit. So now I can get business loans and get a business line of credit. I can now open up a bank account and then ask that said bank for a line of credit. And so that, those type of things is what's keeping me positive, keeping me up on a positive note, as well as making a smoothie. So, no, I got these bunch of oranges. I don't know what's up with these oranges. Might have gotten. No, congratulations! Congratulations! Bunch of oranges. They've been sitting in the fridge for a hot minute. They taste. I don't know. It tastes kind of off. That one's bad. Congratulations, was that Mr. Stepper 88? Now that I'm famous, I don't know what to do with all this money. Brother, invest. Or brother, sister, whoever you are, invest. You got some capital. Going in an LLC or something like that. You definitely, I know it sounds crazy, but definitely might want to start opening up a foundation or something like that. Like give back to a cause. Not only does it looks good on your reputation but also good on the comebacks too with the taxes. You know what I mean? Wink, wink. Maybe do something like that. Um, yeah, if you come across a bunch of money, man. First things first, health is wealth. Take care of your health, your mental health, your emotional health, psychological health. Take care of your health. Like if you've been needing to get dental work, do that. If you've been wanting to work out and get healthier, do that. Any type of diets or anything like that, take care of that first off rip. It don't matter if it puts you under for a little bit or if it hurts your pockets for a little bit. Do that first. Do not go out and spend buku money on materialistic things. Get your body together first. Get your mind together first. If you need a gym membership, get that type of work. Health is the number one before money. Yeah, get your mind right, get your body right. So when you do make more money, and you're gonna have more people coming after you with more deals. You know what I mean? You got clear mind. You got clear head. I agree with that. I keep my energy. Make sure my body stay in shape. Good. Then shoot, you are literally halfway there. You are literally halfway there. You are beating at least 50% of the people who are trying to do the same thing you're doing. Easily. Easily. Because the funny thing about money is if you're a loser when you have no money, you're gonna be a loser when you get money, you're gonna be a loser with money. You know what I mean? If you're a smart, intelligent person without money, you're gonna be a smart, intelligent person with money. You know what I mean? Money doesn't really change you per se, but it just gives you a lot more resources. That's all money does. But don't let that fame and shit go to your head, dog. They gonna try to come after you. And it's crazy how in this country, like the tax brackets, I've always imagined, you know, going up in tax brackets because like the highest I've ever gone in tax brackets is like 48K within a year, if that. And but I just I imagine being at 80K, 90K, six figure, just south of six figures, and the weird opportunities that I've always heard because I've met people who make six figures a year, and they tell me the wildest crazy stories about how like banks treat you, how car dealerships treat you, how certain clubs treat you, certain what I mean, um, certain places treat you. So I just it's just crazy that it's literally the higher tax bracket you go up, the world literally treats you vastly different. And I've always imagined the opportunities that would be presented to me, just different like investment ideas or banks offering me this opportunity or that opportunity because I got $1 million, or I want to open up a bank account, and just basically fantasizing about um those different type of clubs and being part of those different types of clubs and stuff like that. And one thing I've learned on my um one thing for a fact that I've learned on my on my financial journey is that there is a language that you have to learn. The higher, the more prestige people you meet, the more bourgeois people you meet, they have a type of language. They look a certain way. They act a certain way. You know what I mean? For us people of color, uh, for us people of color, what I'm really trying to say is learn how to code switch. And some people might frown upon that, but I mean that's just the way it is. Like even high ivory tower black people will tell you they don't really like messing with these, European and Dutch ways, these colonialistic ways. But it's been like that for so long, and nobody wants to change it. You feel me? Man, thank you, Mr. Stepper. I was about to go on my gloom and doom like usual, but got me out of it. So shout outs to you and congratulations. I hope we go far. Just a reminder, please like, share, and subscribe. You are changing a life here in Elway's world for the better. Maybe, just maybe, I'll be like Mr. Stepper 88. And thanks for stopping by, Mr. Stepper. And thank you, Joni M. Man, it really tripped me up. And see, I love talking about business and my financial journey so far. Just learning and talking about this stuff. Because like I've always tell people, I'm gonna say it to the rooftops. You can't just have a 9-to-5 anymore. You gotta have a hustle. You gotta have your hustle, and then you gotta turn your hustle into an actual job. Make it an actual job. Is that better? That's not the best. How's that? Oh, that's better. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to fix the lighting for you. Make sure you can see my pearly whites. Yeah. No. What was I saying? Financial journey. Yeah. Turn your hustle into actual cash flow. And you know what? Just change the language of making it a hustle and just make it a business. Just say you're gonna make this into a business. You got a good idea. You've brainstormed on it. Boom, bang, pow. You're doing it. Do it. Go do it. What Shia LaBeouf say? Do it! Do it! Yeah. Grab your dreams by the cojones and just go do it. Just do it. Just don't think about it, just do it. Just go forth and do it. Just stop. Just do it. Don't ask nobody any questions. Don't say nothing when you pass go. Don't tell nobody you collected that $200 and just go for it. Just go for it. Oh, I could have made it a fruit salad. No, I want to make a smoothie. I'm making a smoothie. But yeah, I got my Dunn's number, and I don't know if I want to um, get a business loan. Like, well, I mean, I need the capital. I need some form of capital. What I'm really paused on and um, stumped on is where to begin. Do I like what business plan am I wanting to set in motion? Because I got like 8 of them, but which one is going to make me profit? Is going to make me money? That's the quickest and easiest. So far, it's as well aligned with my current lifestyle. Like I have to keep that in mind. Like that's the biggest factor is my current lifestyle. Being homeless, probably going to be in treatment and or be on the streets. Like what is going to align with that type of lifestyle, and or living in a hotel room and stuff like that. Like what is going to align the best? Is it going to be e-commerce? Which the reason why I want to do e-commerce is for that passive income, to make it a passive income, and then in the future, um, make it make it like a long-term brand. Is it going to be business consulting, which being a business consultant, that's pretty much over and done with. The only thing I would need is like ads on Facebook and a portfolio, making a portfolio, a couple ads, and some business cards. That's pretty much I would need, and just other like minor cosmetic type things. Um, Social media marketer, same thing. Just need a couple cosmetic type things and some cards and a few ads, and bada bing, bada boom. That would be done. Maybe photography. Doing photography. I always wanted to do photography. Photography, in a long sense, doesn't cost much. Can I put you up here and you not fall? It's too slow. Okay. Um. Is that better or worse? That's worse. Kind of better, like. So bright. So bright. I'm not trying to blind you. Just need to know where to put you. Oh. The light is so blinding. There we go. Um, Photography is something I've always wanted to do. I'm naturally good at it. Let's see. What is this? That's milk. I'm getting ingredients. Hold on. Cheers. Is it orange? No, it's not. Okay. Perfect. Photography is another thing, and then content work. I'll use the rest of that. With content work, getting a loan for content work doesn't sound too good, but getting a loan for photography wouldn't cost too much. But coming up with that business plan and trying to convince banks that I need money to do photography, I'm not too confident in. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm really not that confident in. Been my first time ever trying to get a loan, apply for a loan, and my credit is shite. It's completely shite. Sylvester. Ooh. Don't try this at home, kids. Left condensed milk. All right. We're doing apples, oranges, and grapes. Okay, so this is all I put about a cup of condensed milk in there. Like 3/4 cup of evaporated milk, canned milk, and then 3 big spoonfuls of this Almondville yogurt vanilla. All right, so turn you on. Oh no, it's spilling. Okay, why are you spilling? Is it too much liquid? It might be too much liquid. Ugh, okay. You need a big bowl? It's like spilling everywhere. I don't. I think we're making progress. It's very, very liquidy. It's a mad liquidy. Doesn't taste too bad. Definitely need some sweetener. Add the rest of this. Oh, no, that's one. You know, I'm trying to stay healthy out here in these streets. Too much. I spilled that everywhere. But hey, this is the best part of making food. Cooking. And making new stuff. I might just have to empty this whole can out. It's still leaking. It's still fucking leaking, bro. What the fuck? So it's like mad liquidy. I don't have anything to really dig in it though. Other than sweet condensed milk. I need some more sweetening up. Does yogurt make it thicker? Does milk make it thicker? I'm gonna use my sister's. Nah, we'll just keep it like that. Alright, so this batch is done. We gotta figure out where to put it at. I did not think this through. I did not think this through at all. Do I have a big cup? I can put in multiple cups? No. That'd be weird. Is putting in a big container weird? It sounds weird. Oh. I got 2 empty jars right here. Boom. So this is the mess we made. Yeah. Ugh. Make sure to clean it up. But smoothie. Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh God, no. Dry kind of smell funky. It is an old pickle jar, so. Way better. Son of a bitch. I just don't understand why it leaks like that. Oh, and this. Fuck it. Look at Sylvester. He's like, what in the hell is going on over there? What? Well, he's like, bro, what is that? His face. His face is so big right now. He's stunned. He's stun locked. He's stun locked. Sylvester, you okay, buddy? He's stun locked. He's like, what the fuck is that, bro? All right, let's try it. It's good. Maybe it needs to be chilled. I can do without the Pope. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's giving off some chunky vibes, and I didn't want. Son of a bitch! I spilled all that. Well, I didn't spill all of it, but I spilled a good portion of it. Yeah, maybe it needs to be chilled. So, pickle jars, recycle, reuse, and we're gonna just set those in there. And I guess you can just vibe out while I clean up. How about that?
On the 12th day of winter, the Jeep ran into me. 12 sweet tracks winding up and roll Kentucky sand. Instructors skipping a few clean roads of seed and smooth figure winds. One, only one. Jeep, there's only one.
This Christmas, plan your finances for the people, causes, and communities you love. Thrivent.
Introducing Subway's new Sub Club. Now members get every 4 foot long free. 4 foot longs free. Fix my fibula later.
4 foot longs free. Forget the fabric sale, Francine.
Join Sub Club and get every 4 foot long free.
Yume wa mou ii.
New staff at Surf share more than just shifts. We're able to work, party, what can I say?
This is angelic. This
rules. New shift begins tonight on Bravo and Peacock.
Sheba, what cats want.
Contact local agent Tracy Haas for an auto quote today.
John, they say with Lavazza, you'll become a maestro. Yeah, maestro of coffee. So it has nothing to do with music.
Daryl's family uses Gabe detergent now, so their laundry smells more amazing than ever. Hey, we towel, suit towel. Game with Foxy, and even more freshness.
Your aura is limitless. Blocking functions brilliantly from interrupting your flow. Introducing the Lenovo Aura Edition AI PC.
The best gifts are at Macy's Friends and Family Sale with 30% off our best brands and 15% off beauty and fragrance. Or Star Rewards members can earn even more Star money on more top brands at Macy's Friends and Family ends Thursday.
Shoot, my bad, y'all. I was over scrubbling and doubling there. But also, we clean our messes. As you can see, we clean our messes. And then shoot, feel me? I had to go ahead and top her off real quick. Had to bust out that Fabuloso. Had to bust her out real quick. You know, I just had to do a little dishes and stuff. Ugh. I was trying to scrub the paint off these motherfucking pots. And not gonna lie.
All year for mom's cooking.
Where's Stephanie? Is she maybe somewhere?
You know it's better without your pants grilling you.
The chunky smoothie's growing on me. It's growing on me.
S.C. Johnson. Lily's Catering has a lot on their plate. Into my QuickBooks, AI agents take stuff off it. Hours walk check. And payroll's ready too. That's her secret sauce. Hold on, to it with Intuit QuickBooks.
Get a large stuffed crust only at Little Caesars.
Where'd he go?
It's a stuffed crust topped with
Oh, there you go.
breadcrumbs and at $9.49. It's the lowest price in stuffed crust. Hey, good kiddo, how would you describe this pizza?
About time for smoky smoke.
Large stuffed crust is only $9.49. Unbelievable! Little Caesars just gives you more. That's right. Hey, kiddo, can you think of any better way to spend $9.49? Guess not. Try large stuffed crust pizza for only $9.49. Little Caesars is the real deal.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. There is something about having your own place or your own home and cleaning up and then just relaxing. I don't know what it is. And then it stays clean for the next 2-3 days. You're not going to have no company over or nothing. You ain't going to do no wild big dinners or anything like that. I don't know. For the longest, I've always found that so satisfying. Just, and I don't know if it's maybe because it's my own, I'm taking responsibility of it, or the satisfying, just cleaning up that makes it satisfying. I don't know. Is that weird? Do y'all think that's weird? I don't think it's weird, but who knows? Different strokes for different folks. Yeah, man, and sometimes, like, I guess in my case, for me, let me see something real quick. Even if it's not my place, I still have that satisfying feeling. Okay, so last time I was live, the camera with the light came on. Had live video? What is that? I don't know what that means. Oh, okay, that's what that means. Sylvester, you wanna come in? Come on. Come on. Come on. You're not gonna come up? I mean, come in. It's the garage. He ain't never been to the garage. Okay, now see, boom. Do. Now will it flip? It won't flip. Sylvester! Learning new things. Even if it's not my place, like I was saying, even if it's not my place, I still get a satisfying feeling of just having a clean space. I don't know. Because I can tell you, I've got some stories to tell you. I was living with this couple and a sister-in-law. Long story short, they were some hoarding freaks. That's all I'm going to leave it as that. That's all I'm going to leave it as that. But I met them through work, right? And, dude, they had, 2 dogs? Or no, they had 8 cats. 8 cats in a 1,200 square foot apartment. What was it? 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment? I think it might have been like 1,500. But small ass apartment, 8 cats, 1 litter box. No one cleaned the litter box at all. With a 1-year-old, right? And they when I say hoarded, I mean there is an inch of garbage and dirt and trash. That's not an exaggeration. There was fucking one corner of the house where they had a bunch of stuff at that the cats will walk through. They didn't clean. Like they didn't clean at all. To a point where literally there was a fucking hairball the size of a softball. I am not lying to you. I seen it. I had to clean it. I literally seen it and had to clean it. They would tell me stories of how like junky their house would be. And they said a couple of times, a couple of cats had died and they didn't know it. Yeah, I've lived with those type of people. Yeah. It was all types of fuckery. But you know what? As much as I'm talking shit, which I can, I'm grateful for that experience. I'm grateful for those people. Shout out to those people. I'm grateful for them. They talking shit about me too right now, anyways. So it don't matter. I mean, I know their family is. I'll just leave it like that. But yeah, no, they was bad, and there was a particular point in time where basically the dad didn't work like at all. All he did for 8 hours straight was play video games, like literally play video games. He would not do nothing else. And it got to a point where I was watching his kid while he played video games. Like he would literally, mind you, about a good inch of dirt and trash and cat hair and everything and cat poop and piss all over the floor. He would leave his kid right in front of the TV, not in the high chair, but right in front of the TV. And the meal, the Lunchable, the Hot Pocket, the whatever he was trying to feed her, he would leave it right there on the floor. And she would be trying to eat it, and the fucking cats would bully her and take her fucking food. Bro. But here's the kicker though. When I step in, when I give him the slack and don't say nothing, I never said nothing to him, right? When I'm watching the kid, when I'm feeding the kid on time, scheduling, all I did was tell him, hey, bro, you need to change your kid right now, bro. That's it. I'm not changing your kid, bro. She's not my daughter, bro. You need to change her now, bro. She stinks. Like, I would put her ass in his face, right next to his face. And he hated changing diapers. That was the only thing that would get him away from the game, was changing diapers, bro. That was the only thing. If she stinked and he smelled it, he stopped everything. Even if he's winning, losing the game, he's stopping mid-game, changing her, and that's it. Then he'll, of course, throw her on the couch, throw her in a high chair, throw her in the bouncy chair, whatever have you, and pull little toys around, and that'd be it, right? But other than that, yeah, no. And so, once again, I never said nothing to her. I never put it in his face, except the only time she needed to be changed, right? This motherfucker would try to make lies about how I'm treating his daughter, how I'm mistreating her. He's like, he'll be like, it'll be nap time, right? And she, you know how a 1-year-old fights nap time, right? So the wife, right, would tell me if you're having trouble putting her to sleep. And I'll remind you, she's telling this really to him, but she's looking at me type shit, right? She would say, put on this show, put her in her bed and tell her it's time to go sleep for a little minute. Let's go to sleep. So that's what I would do. And so he would see that shit and try to be like, he's mistreating the daughter or whatever with the school. She right off the bat was like, okay, I don't disbelieve you, but I'm not there, right? Or I'm not gonna say I fully believe you, but I'm not there. I want to get the full, both sides, whatever with the scoop. And so she would text me already. I already had receipts. I already had receipts of times of him. Just click. She's sitting there with the food, knowing good. She's sitting there, his daughter's sitting there on the floor with the food. Click. So this was the first attempt of him trying to snitch on me, right? It was his first time. I sent her all those receipts. She got pissed. She was just like, motherfucker, what do you want? This is your house. This is your kingdom. You stay. I make enough money. I don't want to. I make enough money to skim us by on bills and all the essentials. And then sister-in-law helps a lot with the food. Motherfucker, you can't clean the bedroom? You can't clean the bathroom? And he would try. Hold on, let me take his breath. So when it came to cleaning and shit, he would play that incompetent role. He was a man child. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, and that was their dynamic, and they were happy with that dynamic. Her being the breadwinner, she led more masculine. She set in more masculine. She was more tomboyish. He was more submissive. He was very like, I don't want it in my control. He did not like control at all. And that was their dynamic. And I respected that. But when it came to that child not getting what it needed, what that child need, oh no, bro. Uncle Elroy coming out in a heartbeat. Bro. No, you got life fucked up. You got life all the way fucked up, bro. Like, you can be the submissive whatever with the scoop, and y'all can have the female alpha Amazon warrior queen and her servant dynamic if you want to, but when it comes to that kid not getting what they need and being properly treated on a proper regimen and routine, nah, bro. Uncle Elroy coming out, bro. Daddy Elroy coming out, bro. No, you got life effed up. And so back to the story. So she got pissed and got in his ass, right? And he would play, like I said, he would play the incompetent. He was the man child, like pure definition of a man child. Like, his mom babied him, his grandmother babied him. His father tried to toughen him up, but his overbearing mom, just pretty much sissified him, pretty much. And she liked that. That's what she wanted, right? And that's okay. That is cool. But she would get frustrated and mad because the house would be dirty, or I would have to fucking fight off the cats off the kitchen counter and shit, and fight off the cats and make sure the kid was okay. Plus, on me working, finding another job, and doing content. Yeah, I was still doing content. I was trying to do this ghost hunting thing. Not trying. I was doing ghost hunting. Still want to do ghost hunting, by the way. Holla if you hear me. And I was doing all of that too. And she was like, we had a heart to heart, and she apologized and this, that, and the third. And apology accepted on my end. It's light work to me on my end. It's just I can't sit by, and this is why I told her, I was like, I just can't sit by and see a kid, you know what I'm saying, on a filthy floor, and homie's right there, been playing video games since 6 a.m. and he don't stop playing. He don't stop playing for nothing. I mean, nothing. He don't get off that game at all. And so, like, I was like, I can't sit by and just, I gotta do something. Like, it's not that I want to do it. I'm not trying to show off. And I told him that too. I told the husband that too. Like, I'm not trying to show you up. I'm not trying, you know what I'm saying? But like, bruh, she's a 1-year-old, bruh. It'd be different if she was like 8 or 7 or something like that, right? It'd be mad different. But she's a 1-year-old, bruh. Like, you gotta keep your eye on her, or at least keep her entertained for a few hours. Then nap time. Then you do your thing. You know what I mean? But he would always come up with excuses about there's not enough time, and I don't have enough time to do this and do that. And I'm just like, and she would look at me and be like, Leroy cooks, cleans, watch the kid, does content, and work. And he still has time, and he still has time to take up your responsibilities. You're using it as an excuse. And they would argue and fight, and then they would get freaky or not get freaky, one of them two. But that, man, pure definition of a man-child. Like, pure definition of a man-child. But that's how they rock, though. I'm not mad at it. Shit, I'm not mad at it at all. Like, for me, if my girl or my partner makes enough for me to stay home, best believe the house is taken care of. The dog is walked and fed. The cats is fed. All the animals is taken care of. They chilling. My lover is always gonna come home to a nice, clean home and or a cooked meal or both. You know what I'm talking about? And you not leaving the house either without a nut off or some food in your belly. That's I'm telling you, fellas, I'm telling you, you move in with a chick, or ladies, you move in with a dude, or anybody in between, you move in with somebody and you not working, your work is housework. That is work. Don't let society fool you and tell you that that's not work. That is work. That is full-time work right there. That is full-time work right there. And when you become a veteran like me, then you can do the housework plus watch kids and get in time with what you want to do, what do you want to pursue. Like, I had a girlfriend in my late 20s. In my late 20s, and she made more than enough for me to stay at home. Best believe, every time she come home, the house is taken care of. It smells good. Either I would clean up as soon as she left, or I would start cleaning up about 2 hours before she got home. So by the time she got home, I was done and finished, so I can give her attention. You know what I mean? And best believe, I took advantage in a good way. I ain't took advantage of her, the relationship, but I took advantage of the time I had to really focus in and hone in on what I wanted to do. Like, I journaled a lot. I meditated a lot. I, exercised and worked out often, very frequently, if anything. You know what I mean? I asked those hard-hitting questions that, all the greats tell you to ask yourself. What do you want to be when you grow? Or what do you want to do with your life? What career do you want? How do you want to impact the world? What do you want to leave behind? And, all that time I had, I ain't wasted. I ain't wasted at all. So the moral of the story is, if you move in with somebody and you not working, or you not working quite enough to make the bills and your partner's covering you, best believe there's nothing wrong with spending a little time investing on yourself. That's what I call it. Investing into yourself. Not all investments need some financial game plan or highfalutin money plan or scheme or something like that. Sometimes, and a lot of times, it's just working, going to therapy. Like, when I was with old girl, I went to therapy. I talked her into therapy. I had more than enough time to hone in on my communication skills, my relationship skills, hone in on what degrees I wanted to pursue, and just kind of go from there. You know what I mean? Yeah, shoot, man, but shoot. Fuck that. I'm not my granddaddy, and this ain't my granddaddy's times. You hear me? Man, if I find a shawty and wants me to stay home. Like my old girl, like my old girlfriend, she was like, she was incentivizing me to just stay at home and just take care of the house. And unfortunately, at that time, I was really conflicted because, growing up as a dude, we're always taught to be a provider, this, that, and the third. But she taught me a lot about, the housework is providing, the wisdom, the communication and talking, all the wisdom I would pour into her, pouring life into her. That is also, providing. Providing is just not paying the bills and and providing material things. Providing is also wisdom. It's also lessons. It's also teachings. And so that relationship taught me a lot about that. And it's okay as a man to be in that position instead of the traditional position of wanting to go out to work and pay all the bills and stuff like that. Yeah, that feels good too. But I would confidently say it also feels good to be on the other side as well, being the home front and taking care of the home front. Because when the home front is taken care of, and I'm talking about not only from experience, but like my childhood experiences as well is peaking up a little bit too, is that I lost the train of thought. You learn. It feels good. It feels as good as providing in a traditional way, and that's okay due to the times we live in now. That's why I say we don't live in the times of our grandfathers anymore. Like companies are not paying out like that. Jobs are not paying out like that. They do not care. They are showing it right in front of our faces. These companies do not care. Right in front of our faces. The regular, traditional of going to high school, getting out of high school, going to college, being in debt, then getting a nice job. That whole process is over and done with. It is completely over and done with. And I don't understand why our society hasn't caught up to it yet. Or I should say, why hasn't the common folk caught on to that? Because best believe I would not mind being shacked up right now in a nice little decent. Shoot, all I need is 4 walls on the roof and I'm gone. All I need is 4 walls on the roof and I'm taking off. At all. At motherfucking at all. Being shacked up somewhere, making good meals. Shoot, cook, clean, taking care of the body, taking care of my mind. And the loving. There's nothing like pussy in a can. I'm just saying. There ain't nothing like pussy in a can. Y'all new cats ain't gonna get that joke. The old cats might get that joke, but the new cats ain't gonna get that joke. Oh man. man. What else I gotta do today? Besides calling people, I guess I'll work on uploading my resume, updating my resume, uploading that to LinkedIn and change some things on LinkedIn, and then try and get in touch with a lawyer or the lawyers. Yep. Oh man, like, share, subscribe, follow, comment, do all those lovely things. You are changing the life here at Always World. You are changing a life here at Always World. Almost burned my mustache on that one. Need to clean her out. She needs cleaning.
Introducing Subway's new Sub Club. Now members get every 4 foot long free. 4 foot long's free. Expect $50 later.
Oh, it's time for some Okage highlights. Let's go.
We got another clip from another streamer. People tagged me in on TikTok. They wanted to hear me respond to this, so I'm going to do it. And of course, I like to preface this by always saying I have no personal issue with the Office Nerd or any creator that I respond to unless I specifically say it. It can be very rare. You'll know when I got smoke with somebody. I'm just attacking the argument, but I don't know if I have anything bad here to say about this. But
Did I already see this? I feel like I've already seen this.
So let's see what he has to say. And y'all let me know. Let's talk about it.
Gamers nowadays no longer have attention span. I remember back in the day, bro, when like games came out on PS2 or they came out on Xbox 360, people would play those games for years. Nowadays, instead of being what's the new game this year, it's more like what's the new game this month, what's the new game this week. Back in the early 2000s, late 2000s, a game would drop, no DLC required. A game would drop and dive into the game for eternity. Nowadays, the game drops, bro. Where's season 1? Where's my battle pass? Like, bro, I kind of got living on Fortnite, honestly. Fortnite just stepped it up with a content game, and every other game has playing catch up ever since then.
All right. Shout out to the Office Nerd. So he's saying gamers like attention spans are constantly just jumping from game to game. I agree with this one. And not only do I agree with it, I'm actually going to add more to it and add some layers to this conversation. I don't think this is a gaming issue. This is a societal issue. This has nothing to do with gaming. There's more content than ever. And because of it, I think we as human beings have become spoiled. And people don't realize that. You know, when I was a kid, if you had a favorite TV show, you had to wait until it came on your time. And if you didn't catch it, if your family was rich enough and you had like a VCR and you could record things, maybe you could record it and then watch it later or later after the VCR recording. What was it, like that Vivo thing?
Big facts.
For the most part, you had to catch it when you caught it.
Big facts.
I think the benefit of that is when everybody watches the show together, the next day at school or at work, you guys can discuss it. Yeah, DVR.
Oh, God. Oh, God. DVR was the times.
Entitled to things, they don't even realize how blessed we are. And this is why I keep
there was nothing like waking up and you didn't have cable and waking up to cable. Like, there was nothing like it. I remember going to sleep watching Reading Rainbow and then waking up to my parents or my sister watching some movie on TNT or like Hallmark Channel or watching something on cable or playing Cartoon Network for me when I wake up. Oh, God. And then making a big, nice sandwich with some chips, watching Cartoon Network, and then staying up late watching Toonami. Oh, those were the times. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So a lot of these studios are relying on word of mouth. And you would expect that from like an indie developer who doesn't have the budget for that. But it seems like even the AAA developers are doing that. And I think that's the most jarring thing. Like, whether you like the game or not, Sony left Concord out to die. They did not fucking push that. And it's like, I stand on the fact that, like, it's not the greatest game ever, but it's also not the worst game ever. And they allow, what happens is, when you allow social media to build a narrative around your game, you're fucked. You, as the producer of the content, have to build a narrative around your product and control the optics of the situation. And I think that was one of the biggest issues that happened with Concord. So yeah, I think there's more content than ever. I think there's a lack of advertising. And yeah, people have become so entitled, they're just like, yeah, more and more and more and more and more. And I don't even know why people are that way, because a lot of y'all ain't beat y'all games. I like last year when I beat Sekiro, motherfuckers is frauds. Last year when I beat Sekiro, motherfuckers, they made fun of me. When Sekiro came out in 2019, I rage quit during the grade 8 fight. I came back after getting better at Souls games years later, and I ran through fucking Sekiro. How much better I've gotten at fucking Souls games, right? I pull up the achievements, and I mean, shit. I mean, we can pull it up now. I mean, this is the crazy part. Y'all be talking about more and more and more.
So that's
I'm about to pull this shit up right now and see if the numbers have changed. Last time I checked for Sekiro, not even 50% of the community beat the grade 8, and that's the 50% mark of the game. Sekiro, Shadows died twice. Yeah, motherfuckers is fraud. I'm alive on my birthday. I still do this shit like I'm a kid. Let's look at them achievements.
Say hi to the chat.
Let's see here.
Sylvester.
Guardian 8. Look at that. Look at that. This game came out in 2019. Only 39% of people beat the Guardian 8. But you bum-ass niggas was in my chat cracking jokes like I'm the worst gamer alive. So we know the numbers are even lower for beating the final boss. It's still 39%. And if you do your research, PlayStation don't say it's a PC thing. PlayStation trophies are usually very comparable. I guarantee you on PlayStation it's between 35 and 40% as well. These are the fucking numbers. So the point I'm trying to make and return it back to the conversation is we become spoiled and entitled, and I don't even know why people are so in a rush to try everything. You can't afford it. Don't say you can, because like half of y'all are still on PS4 port begging. Then those of you who are interested or can afford it, you're not even playing and beating these games. You just want to be part of the conversation for what reason, I don't know. If you are not a content creator, I cannot stress this enough. Do not let FOMO and social media ruin your passion for content consumption, whether it's books, movies, video games. Consume things at your own pace, let it marinate, and you will enjoy it better that way. But I feel like a lot of y'all have fallen into this trap where like you feel like the need to get a tweet off or something like that. Like it seems like even people who aren't
Needing to get a tweet off is crazy, bar.
Like that's ruining the. Do it for the love of the fucking game, bro. Do it for the love of the game. You know, lying. I still haven't finished Red Dead Redemption 2. At least you being honest about it, bro. Not gonna lie, you throwing the mix and Kazan lies at PDLC. Maybe go back and beat Promise. See, but he went back and did that shit. He went back and did that shit to prove a point. So I think that's the most disappointing thing about it. I think there's too much content, but then it's like people are being wasteful towards the content. A lot of y'all are wasting y'all money. Y'all are buying all this shit and then not even beating it. And not only are you not beating it, you're not even getting to the halfway point. So what is it for? It's a very overwhelming game. That's fine. Get good, nigga. Like, listen, according to the internet, I'm the worst gamer alive, okay? So if I can get good, you can too. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Yesterday, I was playing Battlefield 6. We was playing Red Sec. We out in a wide open field. All I had was an SMG with no scope on it. It was an iron sight. And I had to fight because somebody was in front of me. But the problem is they were a far distance away. They're shooting at me. This nigga in the chat said, your aim is fucking trash. Oh, I said, bro, I have an SMG in an open field. I'm not playing Call of Duty. This thing started busting out. I said, this is how guns actually work. Newsflash, SMG stands for small machine gun. It's for close quarters. I was at a disadvantage. The bullet train's going all over the place. The very next game, I get an assault rifle, LMG, I'm fucking murdering people. Like, what the fuck are we according to y'all, I'm the worst gamer alive. If I can do it, you can do it too. What are we talking about, bro? Fucking Call of Duty got y'all brains fried, man. I'm off the subs, nigga. But anyways. That's how I feel about most RPG games. I just wait till the complete editions come off and I enjoy it. And that's cool. As long as real shit. I think I talked because some people ask me why I don't do game reviews anymore. My bad, yeah, Submachine Gun, my bad. I'm off the subs, I'm yelling. One of the reasons why the main reason I stopped doing game reviews is I felt like game reviews were ruining my passion for gaming. And like, I can't stress enough, whether you like my opinions on X, Y, and Z or not, I am, at bare minimum, you can't say that I'm passionate about this shit. I really do love games. I've been playing this shit since I was a kid. But I felt like downloading a game and trying to beat it in a week or two and rushing out a review was just stressing me out. I'm losing sleep, putting on weight, and it just wasn't fucking fun. I was just running through, because like in the process, you're also trying to comprehend the shit. I always joke on here, the weekend that Sifu came out was one of the worst weekends of my fucking life. Because a lot of times when you get these game codes early, they give you like a week. Best case scenario, 2 weeks. But
damn, I ain't know that.
On average, a week before the game comes out. So now you got to run through it. But with Sifu, they said the reviews can come out on Monday. They gave us a game code at G4 on fucking Friday. And then G4 assigned the review to me. When I tell you I wanted to fucking cry on Sifu, and I feel like it ruined the experience for me. Because the game is
Damn, I didn't know
shit.
that.
And I had to
I've
try
always
to beat
wanted
that
to be
shit
a
like
game,
2 days, bro. It was
like a
not
game
good, man.
tester or a game reviewer.
That was one of those, I was like, I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm sick of this shit. So that's why I stopped doing game reviews.
But every single time I look it up, you need some type of degree or something like that. Like, what?
Like I take my time planning.
I need a degree to play video
That's
games?
coming from somebody who does this for a fucking living, bro.
Maybe in writing, maybe like have some credibility in writing, but like to play a video game, you need a degree. Bro, that's crazy.
Because you're on that fucking battle pass all goddamn day. You've turned what was supposed to be fun into work. Something that I covered in a video called the dark psychology of microtransactions. I'm gonna plug myself right fucking now. Niggas swear this shit is not that deep. It is. They use gambling tactics to get you hooked into these games, and then it spoils the fun for you. Impression. Go watch this fucking video right here. Right fucking now, bitch. Not right now. Let's save it for later, man. I'll take that over rushing it. Yeah, so don't let the need to be a part of every conversation ruin your fun for things. The only thing I ask is, you know, if you do take your time doing things, don't come in my chat acting like y'all play them games, because y'all niggas guilty of that shit too. Y'all guilty of that. I'll be playing a game and niggas want to backseat the fuck out of me, give me terrible tips that gets me fucking killed. I'm not asking. They be some games, but you niggas be quiet. Y'all. You got the autumn steam sale, the summer, the winter. I can't wait to see their faces when they go out. What seems to be the problem, soldier? The bag is some Greeks.
Sneaky cowards.
Innovation changes everything.
Send it back.
With one investment, you can access the NASDAQ 100 innovators who are rethinking the world. Before investing carefully, we consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more. Prospectus at Invesco.com.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
With the great idea, you just want to get things down on paper. Grammarly is the second set of eyes that helps me get work done.
A little Full Sail University, man. It's looking Full Sail? Space Ninja? Is that water from a jug? Yeah. It's a half a gallon water jug. I got it off Amazon. I try to drink a lot of water.
Okay.
Space Samurais and Space Ninjas.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'll play it.
This shit look ass. All right, next.
Oh, PC gaming show. Who watched it?
Oh my god.
He's going over the PC gaming show.
University sophomore project, bro. I was waiting for the gameplay. That frame rate was dropping. No, thank you, bro. Yeah, get that YouTube Premium. Somebody in the chat complained that he got multiple.
Yeah, I think I've seen this.
Premium, them
I'm pretty
servers are
sure I
expensive
did.
to run on YouTube. Get that YouTube Premium. Video player. Let me put it in. Into 1440. Might be YouTube that's doing that shit. In YouTube. Yeah, I'm getting Twisted Metal vibes. Why is this shit not loading? Love. Wait, Carmageddon, wasn't this a game that was popular like in the GameCube era? I feel like I've never seen this in the GameStop party bin. It was? Okay, I'm not bugging. honestly, it doesn't look bad. It looks like a Twisted Metal type of game. It looks crispy. Not my cup of tea. Those aren't usually my type of games, but I can see this being for somebody. That's a lowercase W. It's for somebody.
What's up,
What
Sylvester?
else we got? Rogue Point.
Miss the golden
Yeah, I
era of
seen this.
FPS games?
Oh my god, this shit.
What's up, buddy? What you doing? Speaking of seafood, Afro sends you. High school students can
Chat, no.
That's you, all right, buddy?
Chat, nothing hit, bro. Back when I was in school, nothing hit like a number 2 Ticonderoga, bro. The smoothest in the game. When you were younger growing up, did you ever?
Stupid. Honestly, I'm feeling a podcast right now. Feeling a podcast. Reading is fundamental. Dang, a lot of my videos is going like, guess they're getting taken down or something. Not my videos, but like the videos I've saved on this. Didn't show that. It's probably already too late, but hopefully no one's seen it.
Most people are ruled by emotion.
Let's go with 5 levels of intelligence. See what's it say. You resist flattery only by proving that truth never offends you. Macavilian.
There are 5 levels of intelligence. Most never rise past the first, living their lives as pawns in someone else's game. But intelligence isn't about facts, grades, or sounding clever. It's about survival, leverage, shaping reality before it shapes you. The higher you climb, the fewer survive, until only a handful reach the peak, where you don't just win the game, you design it. These levels aren't theory, they are lived realities. The ladder that decides who rules and who obeys. Today, you'll see where you stand. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. The pawn is everywhere. You pass them in the streets, work beside them in offices, sit next to them in classrooms. They are the majority, the faceless mass that fills the world with noise, but leaves no trace on history. What defines the pawn is not a lack of ability. It is a lack of awareness. They live reactively, chained to routines, governed by fear, swayed by appearances. They mistake survival for strategy, and obedience for wisdom. The pawn believes his opinions are his own, but every thought he carries was handed to him by others. Parents, teachers, politicians, media. He obeys laws he never wrote, follows customs he never questioned, and defends systems that quietly consume him. If you ask him why he lives the way he does, he will give borrowed answers. That's just life. That's what everyone does. But these are not reasons. They are chains disguised as logic. Machiavelli saw this centuries ago. Men are so simple and so subject to present necessities that he who deceives will always find those willing to be deceived. The pawn does not question. He accepts appearances, mistakes authority for truth, and comfort for freedom. Pawns are terrified of being out of step. They nod when others nod, laugh when others laugh, fear what others fear. They confuse conformity with safety, never realizing that blending in only makes them invisible. Their entire identity is built on external approval. Remove the crowd, and the pawn collapses. Worst of all, the pawn resents those who rise above. They call ambition arrogance, discipline toxic, independence selfish. They glorify struggle, romanticize weakness, and shame strength. because strength reminds them of what they refused to become. And so they cling to comforting illusions, religions that reward obedience, ideologies that punish assent, philosophies that glorify passivity. They call their resignation morality. But morality without power is only theater. A pawn's greatest fear is responsibility. For to admit he is not powerless would mean admitting he must act. And action terrifies him because his whole life has been built around waiting for someone else to lead. This is why pawns are replaceable. They work, consume, obey. And
What are you doing, Sylvester?
another steps in silently. No monuments remember them. No legacies follow them. If you see yourself here, do not despair. Awareness itself is the crack in the wall. For the first step to rising is admitting you are trapped. Once you see your chains, you can break them. And when a pawn awakens, he becomes something new. He evolves into the next form. Adaptive intelligence, the parrot.
Ally Spending Account is a checking account that helps you spend smarter on what you need, so you can treat yourself to the things you absolutely love. That's why we're the bank that's your ally.
Oh, intense flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep of the flu. Medicine. Flu keeping you
I
up?
got this. I got this.
You need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu symptoms with NyQuil Intense Flu. You do got this.
It is the season of lights, so let Valvoline Instant Oil Change help light your way this winter. With a free head-to-tail light
Can we
check.
not and act like we did?
The parrot is louder than the pawn. He has learned to repeat what sounds intelligent, to mimic the language of insight, without yet grasping its weight. He collects quotes, ideas, and facts like shiny feathers, and he spreads them to impress others. To the untrained eye, the parrot looks wise. But listen closely. Every word is borrowed. Every opinion is second-hand. The parrot adapts quickly to the crowd. He knows what to say to win approval, which phrases signal intelligence.
Damn, I
which
might be a
trends
parrot.
keep him relevant. He thrives on appearances, because appearances are easier to master than outcomes.
Okay, maybe
As
not.
Machiavelli wrote, everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are.
That's
The
deep.
parrot shines in the performance of wisdom, but strip away the borrowed feathers, and little remains. This is the level where many get stuck. It feels good to be praised for cleverness, to be admired for knowledge. But parroting wisdom is not the same as creating it. The parrot does not design systems, he describes them. He does not forge beliefs, he repeats them. His intelligence is reactive, not generative. And yet, this stage is progress.
Sylvester.
Unlike the pawn, the parrot questions, learns, gathers. He is curious, restless, unsatisfied with silence.
What you doing, buddy?
He begins to realize the chains around him,
You okay?
but his mind still seeks safety in imitation. He wants the respect of the intelligent without paying the price of independent thought.
Okay, no, that's not me.
The tragedy of the parrot is that he becomes addicted to the performance of wisdom.
You okay,
He
buddy?
builds an identity around sounding right instead of being right. And so he avoids the risk of testing his ideas against reality, because reality could prove him wrong. The applause of the
Might need
crowd
some catnip.
matters more than the truth of the outcome. But some parrots break free.
Anybody else's cat have anxiety?
And crave mastery. mastery. They stop asking, what will make me sound smart? And begin asking, what will make me effective? This is the moment imitation transforms into cunning, and from that cunning emerges the third level, strategic intelligence, the fox. The fox is the first real player of the game, where the pawn obeys and the parrot imitates. The fox calculates. Machiavelli himself warned, one must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. The fox masters the first half of this equation, cunning without conscience, maneuvering without hesitation. He doesn't just react to circumstances, he bends them. He sees beyond appearances and listens for motives, not words. He is cunning, observant, and quick to spot opportunities others overlook. The fox thrives in uncertainty. He knows that people reveal themselves through their desires and fears, and he uses that knowledge to his advantage. He trades in secrets, timing, and leverage. To the outside world, the fox may seem lucky, but his luck is engineered. He reads the room like a map, adjusting his moves with precision, always 2 steps ahead of the unsuspecting. Unlike the parrot, who seeks applause, the fox thrives on subtle victories. He doesn't need to be recognized as the smartest in the room. He only needs to win. His satisfaction comes from influence, pulling strings without drawing attention.
All right, what was the third one? So the first one's the pawns. That's the sheeple. First one's the pawn. That's the sheeple. Second one's the parrot. I think the name gives it away. Someone who just pretty much copies, doesn't generate intelligence. And the third is the fox.
The fox.
Strategic intelligence.
The fox is the first real player of the game, where the pawn obeys and the parrot imitates. The fox calculates. Machiavelli himself warned, one must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. The fox masters the first half of this equation, cunning without conscience, maneuvering without hesitation. He doesn't just react to circumstances, he bends them. He sees beyond appearances and listens for motives, not words. He is cunning, observant, and quick to spot opportunities others overlook. The fox thrives in uncertainty. He knows that people reveal themselves through their desires and fears, and he uses that knowledge to his advantage. He trades in secrets, timing, and leverage. To the outside world, the fox may seem lucky, but his luck is engineered. He reads the room like a map, adjusting his moves with precision, always 2 steps ahead of the unsuspecting. Unlike the parrot, who seeks applause, the fox thrives on subtle victories. He doesn't need to be recognized as the smartest in the room. He only needs to win.
That sounds more like
His satisfaction comes from influence, from pulling strings without drawing attention. He is not bound by rules of morality or conformity. He values results over appearances, effectiveness over approval.
Yeah, definitely sounds more like me.
The fox has limitations. His victories are often short-term, his influence fragile. Cunning can deceive and manipulate, but it cannot build. The fox may outwit rivals today, but tomorrow requires another trick, another scheme. This cycle traps him in constant motion, always hunting, always wary of being hunted himself. The fox lives with the paranoia of exposure. The moment his schemes are revealed, his power collapses. Allies turn to enemies, trust dissolves, and the cleverness that once impressed becomes evidence against him. Clever men are admired, but they are rarely trusted. Still, the fox is necessary. Without him, systems stagnate. He disrupts, innovates, and exposes weaknesses others overlook. He teaches that intelligence must be applied, not just spoken. But true mastery requires more than clever tricks. To rise higher, the fox must learn to think beyond immediate gains and design strategies that endure. Those who grow tired of fleeting wins evolve into something greater. They step back, widen their vision, and begin shaping the entire battlefield. From the ashes of the fox emerges the fourth level. Manipulative intelligence, the puppeteer.
The holidays are all about giving. Wrap up the year sales event.
So far, I think. I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards Fox intelligence, strategic intelligence. I'm leaning towards that. Gotta see more. But I'm liking it so far. I like the faceless philosopher, especially when he's talking about Machiavellian traits and stuff.
The puppeteer is no
this and the third. Sounds
tricks or short-term
be
influence.
spot on for
Unlike the fox, who must be present to pull strings, the puppeteer sets mechanisms in motion that continue even when he is absent. He has learned that real control is not about clever lines or quick schemes. It is about pulling the right levers at the right time to make others dance willingly. The puppeteer's strength lies in his ability to disguise manipulation as choice. He engineers environments where people believe they are acting freely, even as every path leads to his intended outcome. He whispers in the ears of leaders, creates conflicts when unity threatens him, and resolves them when peace benefits him. His influence spreads invisibly, hidden in the architecture of decisions. Unlike the fox, the puppeteer does not chase constant victories. He is patient, calculating, willing to wait months or years to see a plan unfold. He thrives on plausible deniability. His fingerprints are everywhere, yet nowhere. If questioned, he vanishes into shadows, leaving others to defend the outcomes he designed. The danger of the puppeteer is that he begins to lose himself in the masks he wears. Every alliance is temporary, every friendship conditional, every move transactional. Trust becomes impossible because trust is too fragile for a man who sees through every facade. He collects loyalty the way others collect trophies, yet he offers none in return. Still, the puppeteer marks a higher intelligence because he has transcended mere reaction. He does not just play the game, he bends the players. He knows how to create division, how to steer ambition, how to shape narratives that control entire groups. His intelligence is not loud, it is systemic. But there is a ceiling to this level. The puppeteer remains tethered to the game he manipulates. He still plays within a system designed by someone else. For all his brilliance, he has not yet built the stage, only controlled the actors. To reach the highest level, he must let go of masks and illusions altogether. He must stop playing roles, and start writing the rules themselves. Beyond the puppeteer lies the final, rarest form of intelligence, visionary intelligence, the architect. The architect is the highest and rarest form of intelligence. He no longer plays roles, nor merely manipulates others. He builds the very stage upon which everyone else performs. The architect creates systems, institutions, and structures that shape the behavior of entire societies. His intelligence is not personal. It is architectural. It survives beyond his presence, beyond his lifetime. The architect understands that power is fragile when tied to one body, one identity, one moment. So he disperses his influence into rules, traditions, technologies, and organizations. He knows that appearances sway crowds, but only systems endure. Where the pawn obeys, the parrot imitates, the fox schemes, and the puppeteer manipulates. The architect designs. He writes the rules others take for granted. What makes the architect dangerous is his detachment. He does not crave applause or recognition. He understands that visibility breeds vulnerability. Instead, he hides within the very systems he engineers. His name may fade, but his structures endure, guiding decisions, shaping culture, directing futures. He is the invisible hand behind nations, corporations, and movements that last centuries. The architect is both visionary and ruthless. He knows that no system survives without discipline, enforcement, and sacrifice. He builds mechanisms that reward loyalty, punish betrayal, and perpetuate his vision. He is not satisfied with influence or control. He seeks permanence, and permanence requires building beyond the self. Few ever reach this level. To do so requires abandoning ego, fame, and personal glory. It requires the death of identity, the willingness to vanish so that your creation may live. The architect does not ask to be remembered. He demands that his design outlast him. This is the apex of intelligence, not to win within the game, not to manipulate the players, but to invent the rules of play itself. And once you see this level, you realize how small the lower rungs truly are. For while others scramble for recognition, the architect builds reality. Before we close, I want you to do something right now. Leave a comment below with the words, "I will rise." Say it, write it, claim it.
I will rise.
For you. The comments will reveal how many among us refuse to remain pawns. And when you write it,
yeah, I don't know where they be getting these pictures. I don't know if they're AI generated or they're actual photos from artists in history and time, but damn, they be hitting. Some of them be gorgeous. Some of them be gorgeous, I'm telling you. I will rise. But no, I have to admit, I think I'm definitely at this state in my intelligence. I'm definitely a fox. Definitely a fox. I'll put it to you like it's an age. When I was in my 20s, when I was in my like teenage years, 20s and like mid 20s, I was definitely the parrot. Definitely the parrot. And the older I get, I'm seeing myself being more of a fox. And I feel like regardless, like I feel like with time I will become an architect, but how can I put it? I strongly feel like over time, no matter what, I'll be an architect. I have an architect intelligence, but it'll only be like halved because I don't have the resources. Now, if I have the resources, I would be like full fledged, have architect intelligence. In my opinion, I think fully right now, I feel like I have a fox intelligence because I am scheming because I don't have those resources. But if I had those resources, I would be full fledged an architect, like have architect intelligence. Because it talked a lot about leaving something behind, leaving legacy, and making structures that impact societies and nations. And I've always wanted to do that. I've been in some way, shape, form, or another, been told that I have that influence or mindset. And the older I get, the more I recognize it and value it. So definitely architect with resources. Without resources, definitely a high um high puppeteer or high fox. I don't know. Let's get into one more real quick. 5 signs of Machiavellian.
I was 10 years old when I learned M&Ms were the first candy in space, not just because Mars makes them.
Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are.
If you've ever been called too cold, too distant, too strategic, too manipulative, you weren't the problem. You were the warning. Because Machiavellian minds aren't defective. They're effective. They don't live in delusion. They see how people really work. And they adapt. You know how to navigate lies, decode intentions, and sting it all. You don't lose control. You give it when it serves you. So if you've ever wondered why you feel like you don't belong among the average, here's your answer. You were never meant to. You're a strategist in a world full of amateurs. 5 signs will prove it. You don't need explanations. You don't need confessions. You already know. Before someone opens their mouth, you've already read their posture, their energy, their subtle glances, the tension in their jaw, the delay in their eyes, the way they walk into a room and who they look at first. While others wait for people to reveal themselves, you analyze them the moment they appear, and you're rarely wrong. This isn't intuition. It's pattern recognition at a level most people never reach. You've spent your life watching people make the same moves, speak the same lies, wear the same smiles before asking for something. You've seen kindness used as currency. You've seen generosity used as leverage. And now, when someone speaks, their intentions arrive long before their words ever do. Niccolo Machiavelli wrote about leaders who ruled by understanding the hearts of men, not through speeches, but by anticipating the hidden desire behind every smile. That's exactly what you do. It's not that you're paranoid. You simply refuse to be blind. When a friend is too complimentary, you ask what they want. When a stranger is too interested, you wonder what they're really seeking. You don't take things at face value because you've seen the face shift too many times. People call it cold. You call it prepared. And in a world where most are played without even knowing it, you'd rather be sharp than sorry. Seeing intentions isn't a gift. It's a decision. And once you make it, You never see people the same again.
That's so true. Like seeing intentions before people speak. I don't necessarily agree. Like it's a choice. I think I think people either see it or they don't see it. Now, granted, do I believe you can learn it? Yeah, but I think naturally people you can be like kind of gifted in it, and then there's levels to it. But like seeing people's intentions, like for me, I've always been I've always been able to see people's true motives or intentions, and either play them to my advantage or to my benefit, or just for poops and giggles see what they're really about. And 9 times out of 10, they'll show their true color. Like in the midst of reading someone, this is where I'm from. My background. We call it reading somebody, and like when you read somebody, you see through the words. You see, like you read, and your brain comprehends what they're saying. You read and comprehend their body language, and your brain already calculates without you having to think about it or having to think about it too much about what they want. And like the more you do that, the more you practice that, the more accurate you become. It is a form of like pattern recognition for sure. Because you see the same personality, you know who that person is basically. Hate to say it like that. Hate to put like certain people in a box, but it is true. Like you see in media all the time, like the jock, the preppy girl, the nerdy kid, the dork, the geek, the theater drama kid, the color guard kid. You know what I mean? Those type of people have types of traits, and you can read them. And like even if you take the jock and put them in a position where they have to be smart, you kind of know what to expect from them. And I think that's the first sign, is what the first sign is really trying to portray is, you've seen so many people and you interact with so many people, that you can recognize the patterns, right? But I think where intelligence comes in is not automatically putting that person in a box. Like you can see someone being pretty much a bonehead, right? But where intelligence and wisdom, I'll add wisdom to that, comes in is you don't automatically put them in the bonehead category. You know what I mean? Like you don't automatically write them off as a bonehead. So therefore, from here on out, you treat that person as a bonehead. You continuously read them and watch them and learn from them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like that. It was very interesting.
Chaos reveals character. And when chaos erupts, you're the one person who doesn't flinch. You watch as others spiral, raising their voices, rushing their decisions, burning their own positions to feel.
Bro, where does he get these fucking pictures?
But you remain still.
These pictures is fucking spot
The
on.
first to panic is the first to lose. Staying calm isn't about being emotionless. It's about knowing when emotion is useful and when it's a trap. You felt rage, you felt fear, but you've also seen what happens when those feelings drive the wheel. You've seen people destroy relationships over temporary anger, lose deals over ego, ruin reputations in seconds that took years to build.
Oh my God, yes. Like, oh my goodness, yes. This hits home for me so hard because growing up and watching my mother go through like 8 different emotions all in the span of like 20 minutes, and seeing like my dad react in such a cool, calm manner That's where I get a lot of my cool, calm demeanor from is my father, because my mom would literally, she would go through a whole roller coaster of emotions, and she would try to argue with him about how he's not emotional. And as a young age, I remember I'm like, well, he's not a girl, so he's not going to react the same way as you, for one. And then for two, if he did, that will make him look less of a man from what I've learned so far from society. And then three, he's not allowed to express any other emotions other than anger or sadness or depression or something like that. You know what I mean? Something negative. So what are we talking about here? And yeah, like in a span of 20 minutes, I've seen my mom literally destroy herself, destroy a relationship, and destroy like the persona or like the perspective of a mother in like instance, in like pure instance. And I'm only using myself and my childhood as an experience, but I mean, I can use myself as an experience. I've more or less to say than not, I've been more like more calm, cool, and collected. That's what a lot of people get from me, and that is why. Like what he's talking about is exactly why. You don't really like. I've seen growing up. I've seen so much emotions, and not only inside the house but outside the house of being emotional. I've 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 learned, unfortunately, how to manipulate others' emotions, especially when they're angry and they're only angry for that moment, or they're only seeking to be right, or that negative emotion is trying to like that negative emotion is guiding them to only one result, which is typically to either be right or to prove a point or to to embarrass somebody or something like that. I've learned growing up how to manipulate and change that and reverse it or change that energy to something positive, like I normally like to do, or I naturally do, or even make it even worse, into a point where it's like, holy shit, like shit get dark, shit get dark. So I don't know. I just had to speak on that, but let me stop.
Moments. You took notes. You understand that emotional discipline isn't weakness, it's dominance.
Facts.
And the quieter you are, the louder your presence becomes.
Facts.
Machiavelli believed a ruler must be like a fox to recognize traps, and a lion.
And a lion to scare off wolves. That, so I don't know if y'all can see that really good, but it says a ruler must be like a fox to recognize traps and a lion to scare off wolves. That is 100%. I study stoicism, and like stoicism talks a lot about um, inner monologue and like being aware of your presence and using your presence more. Because remember, you have to keep in mind, right? 90% of language. So if you can harness and hone in on your presence and use your words selectively, you could be a great communicator. A lot of great communicators out here. A lot of lecturers and guest speakers, but people, they have harnessed communication, and which is 10% of language, but also body language as well. You know what I mean? Like as a young man, or anybody who's masculine leaning, right? Study stoicism. You know what I mean? Like even when you're nervous, Are you like, is the world aware? You are aware, right? Are you showing that you're aware of your anxiety or your insecurities, right? You know what I mean? And once you practice that and more aware of that, you become more aware of your. That's why a lot of times when I enter a room with a group of people, or when I'm out and about somewhere, I'm not really the loudest. At first, at least, I'll give you that much. I am more leaning towards like an extrovert. I'm not the loudest always at first. To observe and recognize and speak when spoken to, and warm up to the environment. You know what I mean? Like they say, like aura farming. You know what I mean? I like to aura farm a lot and make my presence known. Seen, not heard. You know what I mean? And nine times out of 10, when you do that and you hone in on that, you give off a certain energy. That's what aura is. That's what all aura is giving off a certain energy. Your body has its own natural, let's just say, like shell or barrier, right? Of energy, right? And that's aura. That's a safe way to put aura. But that's also energy, like in vibration, like actual vibration, like actual energy, right? And so when you are insecure or feel nervous, and you're nervous, but you don't know if the person next to you, or person beside you, or in front of you, or the person you're talking to knows that you're nervous, right? That gives off a certain energy. You know what I mean? The whole process gives off a certain energy. I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking and get back to it. But yeah, 100%. A ruler must be like a fox to recognize. Hello? Hello? Okay, there we go. Yep. Turn back. All right. But yeah, a ruler must be like a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to scare off wolves.
Calmness is the fox. Strategy under pressure is the lion. People underestimate silence, but silence is power. It makes others uncomfortable. It forces them to fill the space with their own anxieties, their own confessions, their own mistakes. You're not there to react. You're there to register. Because when everyone else is falling apart, the person who stays composed controls the outcome. You don't fight fire with fire. You let the fire consume itself. And when the smoke clears, you're the one still standing, with a plan already in motion. Calmness, to most, is a feeling. But to you, it's a strategy. You don't show your cards. You show what works. Where others overshare, over-explain, or over-commit, you operate with discipline. You understand that power is preserved in privacy. You speak when speaking moves you forward. You share when sharing gets you closer to something you want. But you never open the entire vault. Not to friends, not to strangers, sometimes not even to yourself. Because you know that people can only attack what they can see. So you show them what you choose, never what you guard. This doesn't mean you're fake. It means you're deliberate. To you, information is currency. And you don't hand out riches to people who haven't earned your trust.
Facts.
Machiavelli taught that a prince must appear virtuous while doing whatever is necessary. You've mastered that art, not deception, but discretion. You've learned that when people know too much, they try to manage you, shape you, control your outcomes to fit their comfort. But you weren't born to be predictable. You were born to be effective. So you move like a puzzle, missing just enough pieces to keep people guessing. You let others underestimate you, misunderstand you, even mislabel you, because you know something they don't. It's easier to win when no one sees the game you're playing. Revealing your whole self is not honesty, it's exposure. And you don't expose, you orchestrate. You hear what others ignore. The awkward pause, the subtle shift in tone, the moment someone trails off instead of finishing their thought. You know that truth doesn't always arrive dressed in words. It sneaks in through hesitation, slips out in over-explaining, and hides behind polite avoidance. Where most hear what's said, you tune into what's missing, what someone chooses not to talk about, what they dodge, what they laugh off too quickly. You understand that silence is never empty. It's full of intention. You've studied enough conversations to know that people reveal themselves most when they think they're being clever. A missing name, a changed subject, a skipped detail. It all speaks. And when they lie, you don't call them out. You let them speak more, because the more they talk, the more they dig. You let people trap themselves in their own performance. Machiavelli once wrote that appearances are more important than reality. But you're not fooled by either. You listen not just with ears, but with instinct. You're not searching for mistakes, you're mapping motive. Because you understand that in every conversation, what matters most isn't the loudest truth. It's the quietest contradiction. Most people learn through guidance. You learn through impact. You don't need someone to warn you twice. Once you see someone's real face, it's etched into memory.
Woo!
You've been lied to, used, misled, and each time
I feel attacked! I feel attacked!
Where others carry wounds, you carry data. You remember how the lie was delivered, how the tone shifted just before the betrayal, how the silence afterward sounded different. And that memory doesn't make you bitter. It makes you immune. You see patterns others miss because you've paid the price for ignoring them. You learn quickly because pain leaves a permanent mark where lectures fade. When someone crosses you, you don't chase revenge. You log the lesson. You close the chapter. And next time...
Say hello to Sarah Lee Halflow.
Hit. That one hit. That one, You ain't worried about the revenge. You just clock the lesson and keep it pushing. Oh, that one hit. That one hit deep right there. I just clocking T right now. I'm clocking T. Bye. Let's get back into it.
Moves ahead. Machiavelli believed the wise ruler must use cruelty wisely, only once, and never forget why it was used. You've taken that lesson to heart. You don't believe in second chances for the same mistake. You believe in evolution, because betrayal doesn't break you, it builds you. And while others are still stuck trying to understand why it happened, you're already building a system to make sure it doesn't happen again. You don't just survive betrayal, you weaponize it. If even one of these signs resonated with you, tell me in the comments which one hit the hardest. Not just to share, to signal, to others like you. Because the world rarely celebrates minds like yours. It fears them, misunderstands them, labels them with names that sound like insults. Manipulative, cold, distant. But behind every label is a lesson. Behind every scar, a skill. Being Machiavellian doesn't mean you're immoral. It means you see reality without illusion and refuse to be controlled by it. Machiavelli never glorified deception. He revealed its necessity. And if you've recognized yourself in these signs, you're not the villain. You're the realist. You don't manipulate for fun. You calculate for survival. You don't...
Yo, Faceless Philosopher, yo, y'all gotta check him out for sure, for sure. Let's see, break them on them. Let's just watch that one. Start with one. Hold on, let me see. She real quick. Of course, an ad. Dark forces. Five signs your aura is powerful. Seven levels of influence. Let's see. This is two documents. The seven Machiavellian laws that control your life.
There are 12 Machiavellian laws that control your life, whether you are aware of them or not. Most men move through the world thinking that respect is earned through generosity, openness, and emotional availability. They believe that being understood is the path to acceptance, and that acceptance is the path to safety. This is a lie that has been repeated so many times that it has become instinct. The first law, the one that shapes all power dynamics at their foundation, is simple. People respect what you withhold, not what you give freely. The moment something is easily accessed, easily understood, or easily taken from you, it loses its value, and so do you. Human nature is wired towards scarcity. We desire what is limited, what is distant, what feels just beyond reach. When you overgive, overshare, or overexplain, you are not being kind. You are teaching others that your presence requires no cost. Observe how people treat what they have to work for. They guard it, protect it, speak of it with pride, and fear losing it. Now observe how they treat what is given to them without effort. It is taken for granted, expected, forgotten, or discarded. The lover who is always available is ignored. The friend who always listens becomes the emotional dumping ground. The employee who always says yes is the one whose workload grows without compensation. When you give too much of yourself, You are not showing virtue. You are announcing that your time, your attention, and your energy are not worth fighting for. The tragedy is not that others take advantage. The tragedy is that you taught them to. Those who are respected are those whose presence feels measured, deliberate, and selective. You must learn to ration your attention the way one rations gold, because in a psychological sense, that is exactly what it is. Withholding is not cruelty. It is discipline. It is understanding that your inner world is not a public well that anyone may drink from. It is knowing that intimacy must be earned, not granted by default. A man who speaks rarely is heard when he speaks. A man who gives sparingly is cherished when he gives. A man who is seen less is remembered more deeply. To withhold is to signal worth. This is not about manipulation. It is about understanding the fundamental mechanics of human valuation. When you withhold, you are not creating distance, you are creating gravity. Others orbit what they cannot fully grasp. They lean in, they wonder, they pursue, and in pursuit they reveal themselves. Meanwhile, you remain still, unshaken, untouched by their urgency. You do not chase, you allow yourself to be pursued. This is how respect forms, not through effort, but through presence controlled with precision. But power is not only stored in what you keep hidden, it is reinforced by what you choose to reveal. This leads to the second. They stop fearing. You turn yourself into something measurable, and what is measurable can be challenged, compared, surpassed. The strongest force in power dynamics is not dominance. It is unpredictability. It is the sense that there is more beneath the surface than what is currently being shown. When you only show enough strength to hint at what you are capable of, others begin to calculate around you. They hesitate to provoke you. They speak more carefully. They watch your reactions. They respect not what they have seen, but what they have not. This is the strategy of kings, generals, and those who understand command. Consider the fighter who never reveals the full sharpness of his skill in training, only enough to establish caution. Consider the leader who speaks softly, but with words that seem to contain hidden depths. Consider the person whose silence in conflict creates more unease than shouting ever could. A full display of power invites resistance. A partial display invites uncertainty, and uncertainty is the silent architect of control. To master this law, you must become comfortable with holding back when your ego wants to prove itself. You must learn to expect a reaction. You must be able to see the long game clearly enough to ignore the temptations of immediate victory. True power is not proven, it is suggested. The less you show, the more they imagine. The more they imagine, the more they fear. And the more they fear, the more carefully they treat you. Control is not taken, it is given to the one who appears already in possession of it. The world is those who can afford to remain unreadable. What comes next is the battlefield of emotion, and only those who control desire control loyalty. Power over others is not held in the obvious actions they can see, but in the emotional ground they do not realize you are shaping beneath their feet. Law 3 is the silent core of influence. Control emotional distance. The one who cares less controls bond. Every relationship, whether romantic, social, or strategic, contains an invisible scale of investment. One side gives more, one side gives less. One waits, wonders, fears, hopes, the other decides. The tragedy is that most people give themselves away too quickly, confusing attachment with loyalty and vulnerability with intimacy. They speak first, confess first, fear first, and the moment they do, they surrender ground. Emotional distance is not coldness, it is placement. It is knowing exactly how close to stand so that your presence is felt, but never guaranteed. People are drawn to what they cannot completely hold. They chase what is withdrawing. They cling to what is slipping. Your task is to master the art of being slightly out of reach, enough to be desired, never enough to be possessed. You do not announce that you care less. You demonstrate it by where you place your attention. If someone demands your time, you respond slower. If they attempt to provoke emotion, you react with stillness. If they seek to define the relationship, you return the question to them. Your silence becomes the language they learn to interpret. When you show restraint, they feel uncertainty. Uncertainty breeds value. They begin to think of you when you are absent. They replay your words. They study your expressions. They attempt to understand you because something in you remains unclaimed. And in their search for clarity, they reveal their hand. They show how much they need you. They expose their insecurities, their desires, their patterns. Emotional control is not about pretending not to feel. It is about choosing when to express and when to withhold. To care is human. To show care selectively is power. Most men believe that loyalty is built through closeness, through constant presence, constant communication, constant reassurance. But loyalty is not built through access. It is built through significance. When your attention must be earned, its arrival feels like victory. When your presence is selective, its appearance feels like privilege. People value what they fear losing, and people fear losing what they never fully possess. The moment they are certain of you, the dynamic dies. The moment your emotions are predictable, the bond is no longer balanced. The one who cares less does not love less. He loves with discipline. He loves without surrendering his selfhood. He loves without collapsing into dependency. This is the difference between attachment and command. One drowns, the other navigates the waters while remaining dry. And just as emotional distance creates value, so too does the illusion of warmth create openings for advantage. This brings us to Law 4, appear friendly.
The holidays are all about giving, but at the Ram Wrap Up the Year sales event, it's all about getting.
Damn. All right. Shit. Nah, I'm gonna need to marinate on that one. 'Cause that was a lot. Saying quite a bit of the same thing of the previous videos, but yeah, nah, that was quite a bit. It seems like I said, talking a lot about stoicism. You know what I mean? Using your presence, using your absence. You know what I mean? When someone's trying to provoke a reaction out of you, don't react the way they want you to, react the way you want to.
Warm smiles. The world mistakes friendliness for sincerity, but the two rarely align. Warmth is a tool, a costume worn to soften defenses and disarm suspicion. People smile to be liked, to be accepted, to be underestimated, to be invisible in their intentions. A smile can hide envy. A compliment can mask rivalry. A show of solidarity can disguise strategic positioning. To survive in any arena of influence, you must learn to separate gesture from motive. Trust only patterns. Trust only consistency. Do not become cynical, become observant. The greatest mistakes in judgment are made not because someone deceived you, but because you wanted to believe them. Appearing friendly is necessary. Hostility pushes others away before you can learn from them, use them, or understand their leverage points. Friendliness allows proximity, but proximity is only valuable if you maintain internal distance. This means listening without confiding first, offering help without exposing need, acknowledging others without elevating them in your emotional hierarchy. Warmth is a tactical surface, not a confession of allegiance. Those who believe every smile is genuine become pawns in other people's stories. Those who believe every friendly gesture is a transaction become manipulators without realizing they are still being manipulated. The balance is to act pleasant while remaining unreadable. You speak kindly but never reveal intention. You show generosity but never reveal dependency. You let others feel close to you while ensuring they are never close enough to strike. To appear harmless is to remove threat perception. To remove threat perception is to move without friction. And yet, once in a while, masks slip. Motives reveal themselves. Someone will test your boundaries, disrespect your value, or attempt to undermine your position. It is here that the next law rises like a blade from the dark. What comes next is not about distance or warmth, but about consequences. Because there is a moment in every power struggle when restraint must end and clarity must begin. Power does not survive on patience alone. Eventually, someone will test the limits of your restraint, assuming your silence is softness and your calm is submission. Law 5 is the turning point where distance becomes definition. Punish once and punish decisively. A punishment is not merely a reaction to offense. It is a message to every witness, spoken or unspoken, about the consequences of crossing you. To correct someone gradually is to teach them that your boundaries bend. To give multiple warnings is to imply that you are negotiating your dignity. People do not learn from mild correction. They learn from unmistakable impact. When someone disrespects you, they are calculating your response. If that response is weak, ambiguous, or delayed, they conclude that they can continue without consequence. And once they conclude that, regaining authority becomes nearly impossible. A decisive punishment must be clear, memorable, and final. Not a spectacle, but a demonstration. It must show that you are not to be provoked twice. To punish once is to ensure there is no need to punish again. Consider how predators maintain territory. They do not roar endlessly. They strike once, with precision, and the memory of that strike echoes longer than any threat could. A leader who corrects behavior through subtle reminders and emotional explanations is simply teaching others how to wear him down. A leader who delivers a single sharp consequence sets a boundary that is felt. The key is to remove personal emotion from the act. A punishment driven by rage is sloppy, impulsive, and easily criticized. A punishment delivered with calm is terrifying. It shows that the action is not about spirit, it is about law. You do not shout, you do not justify, you do not argue, you enact the consequence, and then you return to silence. Your silence is what tells the world that the matter is no longer up for debate. People fear what they cannot negotiate with, they respect what they cannot sway, and above all, they remember the sting of being wrong about you. But understand this clearly, a decisive punishment is final. You do not punish, then reconcile. You do not punish, then apologize. You do not punish, then explain. To do so would undo the entire effect. A punishment is not a conversation, it is a conclusion. When you act decisively, you are not trying to change the offender, you are establishing the price of disrespect. If others learn that price, you rarely have to enforce it again. Those who punish repeatedly are simply signaling that their punishments are too weak to matter. Those who punish inconsistently are signaling that their emotions control them, not their principles. A decisive punishment is based on a standard that does not move. When someone crosses the line, you end the discussion permanently. The world quietly reorganizes itself around those who cannot be tested twice. This brings us to the next law, which shapes not how you act in conflict, but how you prevent conflicts from arising in the first place. Law 6. Never argue.
All right, y'all. I'm about to end it there. Man, the 12 Machiavellian laws that control your life. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Um, I haven't heard a lie yet, but we'll see. But nah, I'm getting hungry. My battery's getting low on my fossil phone. But I'm gonna get back with y'all. I enjoyed y'all's company. I hope you enjoyed mine. But yeah, and remember, somebody somewhere, somebody loves you.